October 9th, 2018. Yesterday, spent the final day of the long weekend, the Thanksgiving long weekend up here in Canada. Hanging with the family, hanging with the kids. We were all up late last night watching movies. So this morning we're a little behind. Amber's gonna drive the kids to school and I am headed to Rice Lake. This is what I wanted to do when we went muskie fishing on Saturday, but there was a tournament going on, so we weren't able to go out there. This morning, hopefully, the community wintering holes for the smallmouth haven't been hit too hard and we can pull some fish off, but this is, you can certainly do a 6-pound smallmouth on Rice Lake. So I have the scale. We're gonna stop on the way there and get batteries for the scale, and hopefully, wouldn't that be awesome? We pull off 2 6-pounders, see what we can make happen. Let's do this. On the way here, not an ounce of wind, and the lake is just starting to blow up, get pounded on by southeast wind, but I think we're gonna be all right for where we want to go. So, ton of spinning rods there for smallmouth, but I do have a flipping rod in case we get blown off the lake. We can go up the river and flip for some largemouth, but hopefully we get out there and our smallmouth spot isn't that bad and we can get some fishing in. It'd be a shame to drive out here and have to turn around and go home, so we're gonna give her anyway and see how the cards lay down. Tube jigs, drop shot, and we'll try a couple other baits, but those are the staples. It's supposed to be warm today, so underneath my hoodie I got even an UV shirt, Daiwa UV shirt, so it's gonna be warm. It should be nice as long as the wind isn't too bad. Should be able to catch some smallmouth. So let this gentleman launch and we're going. Bent the hook out on the flipping jig. Sometimes pulling her out of trees, that ain't no good. Got a new jig on here. If I was flipping more open cover, I'd be like tempted to cut off a ton of this, but today, since we're flipping trees, I'm just gonna trim her down a bit, and I'm gonna trim my skirt down a bit, just because it's fall. I want something a little smaller. Well, that might hit her pretty good. One out of the trees, so windy. Out in the lake, maybe today is a day for flipping largemouth. Not a monster, but the monster largemouth I'm gonna catch of the year. This is our limit for the day. Smaller.
the hook to bite.
Word of the day is windy. Man, the waves, I was trying to hit the smallmouth. The waves are coming over the front of the boat. I headed in the river, landed two, lost a big largemouth, probably not over 604, but 4-pounder anyway. But those trees that I was fishing are basically, your boat is in 22, 23 feet of water and you're flipping into 7, 8 feet. There's not many spots in the river without running way up to the far end to find trees. That's the key, kind of the key. You can catch fish shallow in the fall, but somewhere around where you're getting them shallow, there's super deep water, and that's what they're wintering in. Good news, caught a largemouth, which is ultra pumped because I didn't expect to catch many more this year. Other good news, we get to come back out here when it's flat out there and hopefully we catch them darn smallmouth. And other news, there's an OPP boat out there and I saw a helicopter go over, so I don't know if somebody went in the lake or they can't find someone. Thoughts are with them. They didn't pull, they went flying up the river and didn't pull me over and then come flying back out. So I'm not sure what's going on. If I hear something, I'll let you know. We're off the water way early. I totally didn't think the weatherman was gonna be right when I got up this morning and saw that there was no wind at all, but it is blowing and it is no fun to fish when you can hardly stand up in your boat. So home sweet home, made it. Man, it is disappointing when the wind blows. I like fall fishing, but the weather is the biggest challenge you're gonna face the whole year dealing with the fall fishing ordeal. I don't mind at all fishing in snow or rain. I just hate fishing in the wind, and in the fall it's even worse because the fish are so schooled up. Now, since the fishing didn't go so hot, we didn't spend a ton of time out in the lake, let's give you some fishing tips, because half the fun in doing this is all the emails and messages I get from you guys telling me how you watched the vlog and you caught big fish. So we're gonna first, I want to talk about scent. In the fall, you need to slow down most of the time. There is exception to everything I'm going to talk about. Your tube is going to drag across bottom. One of the things that I like to do, and you might notice me all the time spraying, flipping jigs with scent. I really like cross scent. But here's something that I think is really important about fall fishing. If you're going to be dragging or fishing shoals for smallmouth, I like to do, pull my head out of my tube and take some of this Liquid Mayhem. Liquid Mayhem is what I really like to do in my tubes. I'm going to cover my tube head with Liquid Mayhem. I could do it now because this stuff is very, very potent. Then all I'm going to do is slide my tube head back into my tube, pull the eye back through the hole, and now I got a tube that's core is absolutely jam-packed full of crawfish scent. I really like crawfish. I really like garlic too. And then you have a tube that's in the water, and because it's kind of jammed in there, it's going to ooze it out. It's nice and slow. So that way, when your smallmouth gets a good look at it, he's not going to back away. The other thing I noticed today out at Harris Boat Works, a lot of guys are putting their rigs away. Here's one thing I'm going to tell you. This is Daiwa Fuego reel. If you're done for the season, this one's got the drag tight as can be. If you want your reels to last longer, just back off the drag before you put them away. Really super simple. It's going to relieve all the pressure off the braking system, and your reels are going to last a lot longer. I really thought we were going to get 4 or 5 more hours out on the lake to catch more fish, but it's just too windy. Use those tips I just told you about. They will help you a lot. Slow down in the fall, but the key, if you're going to fish a shoal for smallies, you need to have deep water around. Where I got those largemouth today, where my boat was in 22 feet of water and I was flipping into maybe 7, 8 feet under those trees, and they hit somewhere on the fall in between 7 and 20-ish feet of water. All the places I went to find largemouth shallow, where there wasn't any deep water close, zero largemouth. Even that 604 that I caught last week in the shallow reeds, he's only about a 25-foot swim to 9-10 feet of water. So be mindful of that when you're looking for them. The fish are all schooled up. It's tough to get the schooled up fish when it's really windy. It's not even any fun trying to, bounce around out there. But grease up your tubes, fall time, slow that presentation down. They're gonna have a good look at it, so you wanna do everything you can possible to get them to strike. Stay in the game. I know fall fishing is a pain in the butt, especially up here in Ontario where the weather is just nasty. Today it's beautiful, 25 degrees out, and you can hardly stand in the front of my boat. So the real good fishing, the real good is gonna come when we first get that frost, cold snap, and then those fish are really gonna put the panic on to be biting. And not only that, I was gonna go deer hunting this afternoon, but it's 25 degrees out and we really need a frost to get them snapped into moving around and stuff. So really happy I caught those fish. I looked all over the internet. I couldn't see anything about anybody in the water at Rice Lake. So hopefully the police are just doing, safety drills and making sure that if something does happen that they're ready to rock. So thank you to the OPP who patrol all our waterways, firefighters, everybody who helps in water rescue. I'm gonna go work on media packs right now. We need to get rather more support for the Fear Fishing vlog and the Fear Fishing podcast if we're gonna bring it again to you guys next year. So if you guys wanna see it, tell us what products you're watching in the vlog that you're using. We need to find more great partners like Simple Fishing, R&J Tire, and of course, Daiwa. They're the big ones. Thank you so much for supporting. We got a ton of time left. Hopefully we're gonna get some cooler weather and beat that 6-pound smallie at some point and down a deer. So guys, girls, follow on Fear Fishing Instagram, follow on Facebook, and make sure you hit that bell and subscribe. It's not over till it's over. We're gonna catch more fish before the end of the year. We'll see you soon.